So I was able to get into the Night Rain test. I got selected and I was downloading it and just walking through, the Xbox store. I I don't use this thing. So, sometimes I'm fascinated because, there's these deals and stuff going on, right? And Night Rain's network test is installing and such. So I browse the store and I see Godfall. Now, many of you may or may not know or remember this game. This game came out right as the PlayStation 5 was dropping. Unreal Engine game, and I'm gonna show you some really interesting things. I bought this game too. I bought Godfall. I played it, and I was like, why do I feel disappointed? But again, you have to understand around that time, a lot of games that probably did not appeal to me, I can almost confidently say it was me, not the game, because I was playing Tom Clancy's The Division. I'm a one track minded type of individual. It's weird, but this is how this is how I see gaming. I'll just sit there and master a game. Once I enjoy the game, it's a loop, and that's it. That's how I played most of my games. But I remember buying Godfall. I remember going ahead to purchase the game, and I played it feeling, man, you know, this is just a weird reception for a game that I strongly believed that I was going to like. And so when the game did not meet my expectations, I was a little shocked. I thought to myself, what's going on here? This is my copy of Epic Games. I think I played like 5 hours. I couldn't refund it after the 5 hour mark. I tried to refund. They were like, nah, you already played more than 4 hours. So I said, okay, no problem. But as I'm going through the Xbox store, I see Godfall on there, and I'm like, man, I remember this game being a PC slash PlayStation exclusive. I think it was an Epic Games slash PlayStation exclusive. That's why I have it on Epic Games. And so I go ahead and I'm like, what's going on with the development team? Like, what are they making? What are they cooking up? And I see this, an article from GameDeveloper.com saying, report, Godfall developer Counterplay Games has quietly closed down. Beyond Godfall, Counterplay developed a new defunct digital card game Duelist, which released in 2016. This is written by Justin Carter and was written a month ago, January 13th, 2025. And apparently, they were also co-developing an unannounced title, and they disbanded sometime last year. And it says a developer at Jackalyptic Games claims Godfall creator Counterplay Games closed its doors over the holiday break. PlayStation Lifestyle.net spotted a LinkedIn post from an anonymous employee. So this is PlayStation Lifestyle, whatever, saying that the devs behind PS5 launch exclusive Godfall disbanded. This was written by Zarmina Khan. They're citing Zarmina Khan writing this from a PlayStation, more PlayStation Pro publication in that regard. And apparently, let's read this because this is actually going to kind of like provide what I think is a lot of clarity here. It says the title was supercharged by Counterplay's contribution and said it was impossible to overstate the team's impact. From the very first day, the team put their shoulders to the wheel like it was their baby. Unfortunately, the Jackalyptic developer continued, we were unable to continue our relationship into the new year as CPG was disbanded. Game developer can corroborate the post's existence, which was later edited to remove the mention of the studio's closure. Now, they talked about the Duelist game, and then they said at the time of the writing, Godfall is still purchasable on platforms like Steam and Epic Games Store. Game developer can confirm that Counterplay's website is still active but has no job openings listed or makes any mention of future projects. So I clicked the link to the Counterplay's website, and it's a Squarespace website that's expired, and it's gone out of business. Well, it's gone out of publication, I guess I'll say. I guess they have closed their doors. Now, I shouldn't say gone out of business. That doesn't make any sense, seeing that obviously they're still selling the game, and it's here on, stores. I mean, I guess it's on the Xbox store, so I'm going to guess it's on stores, right? Let's go ahead and look at it. This is what I've been talking about lately. I've been telling, I've been pointing out what I've seen going on in the gaming industry. You can try to deny it. Anybody can try to say what they want. Today alone, I've had to, and I say this, and I wear it boldly, proudly. I blocked 3 grown, I guess they're grown people, from their comments on the channel because every single comment that they laid out had nothing to do with the video, and all of them were personal attacks against me. One of them told me that my life was sad. Another one told me that I'm an ex-bot. Another few were over on Destin's channel replying to my comment. I blocked them in the past. They're very, very interesting folk. I can tell you for sure. And they all have their little, they all have their little notions that they hold. And I can understand holding strong notions. I know exactly what that looks like. I grew up in a nation where there are over, 300 plus people groups. So people all have their ideas. And imagine trying to live in a country like that. So I can understand varying opinions. However, the one thing is there has to be shared truth in terms of what we believe. And that shared truth should be based on material facts and material realities. If it's not based on material facts and material realities, then, you have people running ahead with subjective, opinions. And we're living in, and sadly, a post-truth world where people will see truth right in front of them and will not care. They'll attack you for even saying the truth. Because like I said, none of them, not a single one ever brought any kind of a, objection to what I said. Instead, they went straight after personal attacks from me. Now, like I said, compared to a lot of these folk, I don't know what their experience is. I deal with middle schoolers, and I started dealing with high schoolers my first year of my just getting out of university. So I can say with a certain level of extent that, my skin is less thinner than it was. Go substitute. You know what? If all of you really want to understand who you're dealing with, take a day off of work, sign up in your local schools, do your background check, and go substitute one day, any grade. I'll be very happy to actually match you what they actually pay you. Let's see if you can survive the day and see what actually happens to you. And then when you come out of it on the other side, you'll realize that there's somebody who does that every day with ease and joy. It's me and the other teachers that are actually bracing the future, and we're seeing it, and we love doing it. So once you understand that mindset and that mentality, that in that kind of an environment, you really need to go for what's true to be able to disrupt all of the fugazi that the culture is going to serve to young people coming up, to be able to give them a sense of direction and what's objective. Like the effort that you're putting in is going to supposedly materialize into some kind of a reward later, which is what life can be. And then sometimes life may not even be fair. Those shared truths. And life not being fair in the way that it is, by the time this generation was coming in, exclusivity was basically on the verge of inexistence. The joys and the enjoyment of exclusive content from the PS4 days and maybe the Xbox One days were all but a mirage. This particular company, now, as to the quality of their game, sure. Maybe you can argue about it. But I think Godfall would have benefited from a Steam user base. I think Godfall would have benefited from crossplay, cross-functionality. Epic Games and PlayStation hold this nuance in their head that exclusivity is what's going to drive people to a platform without giving any benefits to their users. And I'm a huge Unreal Engine fan. Like, I'm a champion for Unreal Engine. But even I know Epic Games, when they start dabbling in exclusivity, they are putting these particular studios in the eye of the threat of the market. All those Epic so-called exclusives, so far, they're either now on Steam or they'll be going to Steam, like Alan Wake 2, when it's time to actually find that money. And if it doesn't go to Steam, it can stay in where it is and become a freaking tech demo for NVIDIA's latest graphics cards and AMD's latest graphics cards. Or they can go make money on another platform. Exclusives aren't doing much for these third-party developers. Shift Up just announced $43 million when their other game made $100 and something million in the exact same year. Their brand new title only gave them $43 million. Bro, what the heck are we doing here? It's little wonder that Square Enix is running away from this thing. Little wonder that Pearl Abyss said they didn't want to do this thing. And I think everyone is starting to wake up in the gaming industry to the reality that you've got to get your games where people are going to play your games. And I hate these studio closure things. I can't stand it. I absolutely do not like it, but I just stumbled upon this. I wonder, is my Night Rain done downloading? That's what I came here for. And all of a sudden now I get dragged in. I literally was just looking at it. Like, I was like, wait, what's going on here? Almost done. And the sessions don't start anyways till the 14th. So I'm kind of excited about playing Elden Ring. This is the games that like I said, I'll spend time playing games as such, you know. But I think there is something in the industry that needs to be talked about, like this particular sickness of, oh, exclusives do this. Sorry, but gamers, y'all can't be trusted, man. Especially the ones that make noise on Twitter. You talk a lot more than you actually buy these games. Some of us actually put our, we put the effort, we put our leg in, in that regard. We would double dip in a sense if it came down to it. But some others just want to talk about quality exclusives, and you don't realize what's going on. The expenses are too much for these games. The expenses for burn rate is too much for these studios. And if you're not Sony, PlayStation, and the others that have already basically racked up a huge backing of investors to be able to keep your doors open, to be able to invest in you, man, you are only a few days away from some, change of direction, basically. And that's what I've noticed about this gaming industry. It's just so weird. It's just so weird. I feel really, really disappointed and really sad. But I feel the need to talk about this because this denial that, we see coming with this as well, even from some, elements in the gaming community, is one that's actually really dangerous at the end of the day. It carries with it a huge, huge portion in terms of danger of people not knowing the ramifications of how these things are going. Do y'all not realize, do y'all not see how simple it was for that avowed developer to open his mouth and say a bunch of nonsense, and how simple it was for us to never hear from him again? Do you know why? Because these companies understand that they don't have infinite resources. There's no company that's too big to fail. I don't care who you are. Act wrong and see what happens. Mess with your customers long enough and see how that goes for you. And I think that's what's going on. Or at least bar your customers so that they can come buy a $500 console from you that gathers dust. Yeah, exclusives. Okay. 2025, I think, is going to be a different conversation. 2024 didn't ring enough. 23 did not do anything to y'all. Y'all are still sitting here talking. You'll be sitting there playing corpo gaming in the next 5 years with this exclusivity nonsense that y'all are always continuing to try to push. Quality exclusives. It sells consoles. You must not know the forces of economics and the market pressures that can actually hit an industry. Oh, Milk and Eggs are actually singing a different song, and y'all are still thinking gaming, which is not a life necessity, is somehow, in a sense, immune. Okay. Good luck with that. Thanks for watching, guys. What a sad story. Peace out.